Every morning, at exactly 8:15, an old man arrived at the same bus stop. Same gray coat, same weathered leather shoes, same brown flat cap, a wooden cane in his right hand, and beside him, an old leather suitcase, worn at the corners, heavy looking, but nobody had ever seen him open it. He would lower himself carefully onto the wooden bench, place the suitcase beside his feet, fold his hands over his cane, and wait. Every bus that stopped there opened its doors. People climbed on. People stepped off. Students hurried to school. Workers rushed to their jobs. The old man simply watched. When the bus pulled away, another arrived, then another. Every morning, for 15 years, he never boarded a single one. The coffee shop owner across the street, Martha, never asked if he wanted coffee. She simply walked across every morning, placed a small black coffee beside him, and smiled. Morning. The old man always smiled back. Thank you. Nothing more. The children noticed him first. One little boy began calling him Bus Grandpa. The name spread. Soon every child on Route 12 knew exactly who he was. One autumn morning, a teenage boy dropped his backpack running for the bus. Books scattered across the sidewalk. Before anyone else reacted, the old man slowly bent down, one painful movement at a time. He gathered every notebook, every pencil, every loose sheet of paper. When the boy returned out of breath, the old man simply handed him the backpack. Don't forget your dreams, he said quietly. The boy laughed. I won't, then rushed onto the bus. It was the longest conversation anyone could remember having with him. Years passed. The bench aged. The shelter was repainted. Children who once waved from school buses eventually returned, driving their own cars. Some recognized him immediately. You're still here. The old man smiled. I suppose I am. Then, on a Tuesday morning in late October, everything changed. At 8:15, the buses arrived. Children climbed aboard. The coffee shop owner carried one familiar cup across the street. Then she stopped. The bench was empty. The old man wasn't there. Instead, his suitcase stood neatly beside the bench, perfectly upright, dry despite the rain, his cane leaning against the wood. But the old man had vanished. Martha looked up and down the street. Nothing. The younger bus driver stepped outside. Has anyone seen him? Nobody answered. The children pressed their faces against the windows. One little girl asked softly, Where's Bus Grandpa? No one had an answer. Officer Daniel Harris happened to drive by. When he saw the suitcase, his smile disappeared because for the first time in 15 years, the old man had left something behind. And somehow, that frightened everyone. Nobody touched the suitcase at first. It sat quietly beside the bench. Rainwater rolled down its worn leather surface. The coffee had already gone cold. Officer Harris slowly walked toward the bench. No signs of struggle. No footprints leading away. Only the suitcase and the cane. He turned to Martha. Did he ever tell you his name? She frowned. I always called him sir. Harris looked around at everyone gathered there. 15 years. And nobody knew his name. He contacted the station. No missing person matched the description. No nearby hospital had admitted an elderly man. Nothing. Eventually, the decision was made. The lock was old. One careful turn of a small tool, and it clicked open. Everyone leaned forward. Inside, there wasn't money. There weren't clothes. Everything had been arranged with extraordinary care. Folded neatly on top was a tiny red sweater, small enough for a little girl. Beside it, a faded lunchbox, cleaned lovingly despite its years. A pair of children's shoes, perfectly polished. A small yellow toy bus, its wheels worn from years of play. And an old photograph. Officer Harris picked it up carefully. The picture showed a much younger man. No gray hair, no cane, standing proudly beside a bright yellow school bus. Around him, dozens of smiling children. And sitting on his shoulders, a little girl in the same red sweater. Martha whispered, That's him. He was a bus driver. Harris turned the photograph over. 3 words written carefully on the back. Route 12, the same route, the very same buses he had watched every single morning. Harris drove to the old municipal archive on the edge of town. An elderly archivist listened patiently, then smiled. "I think I know where to look." An hour later, she returned carrying a weathered cardboard file. Route 12, personnel records. Harris opened it carefully. Then one photograph caught his eye. The same warm smile, the same gentle eyes, only younger. Thomas Bennett, bus driver, 23 years of service. Outstanding safety record, never a single complaint. Finally, the old man had a name, but as Harris continued reading, his expression slowly changed. Near the bottom of the page, one sentence had been underlined in red. Service ended following the Route 12 accident. The accident happened on a cold November morning 20 years ago. Rain before sunrise, slick roads, poor visibility. Thomas Bennett had driven Route 12 for nearly 23 years. Parents trusted him, children adored him, and every morning, his 6-year-old daughter Lily sat in the very first seat behind him. She insisted it was the best seat on the bus because she could watch her father drive. That morning, everything felt ordinary. Children laughed. Someone sang a silly song. Lily was drawing a picture with a red crayon. Then a delivery truck lost control on the rain-soaked road. It skidded sideways, straight into the path of the bus. Thomas turned the wheel with every ounce of strength he had. The bus avoided a direct collision, but slid off the road, rolled once, and came to rest against a large oak tree. Thomas forced open his door, ignoring the pain in his shoulder, ignoring the blood running down his face. He climbed back inside, one child at a time. He carried them out. He went back again, and again. Each time someone shouted, "Don't go back in." He answered the same way, "There's still a child inside." When the last student reached safety, Thomas remembered Lily. He rushed back into the bus. Smoke had begun filling the cabin. He searched every seat, calling her name, Lily. Then he saw her, pinned beneath a collapsed seat. He tried to lift it. It wouldn't move. By the time the rescue team reached him, it was too late. Thomas walked out of the wreck carrying only one thing, Lily's little red sweater. The town called him a hero, but none of it eased the silence waiting for him at home. After the funeral, Thomas resigned. He never drove another bus. Then one morning, without telling anyone, he returned to the Route 12 bus stop. Not because he was waiting for a bus, not because he was confused. He came because every school bus that stopped there carried something precious, someone's child. He watched every driver, every child climbing aboard, every parent waving goodbye, and before each bus pulled away, Thomas quietly whispered the same words, "Drive safely." No one ever heard him, but he never missed a morning, not for 15 years. Officer Harris closed the file, his eyes filled with tears. Martha slowly reached back in his suitcase. Beneath Lily's sweater, she found a small notebook. She opened it carefully. The first page contained only one sentence. Today, every child arrived home safely. She turned another page. The same sentence. Again and again, every single day, for 15 years. Page after page, year after year. Some pages stained by rain, others by tears. But Thomas never missed a single entry. Near the back of the notebook, a folded envelope rested between the pages. On the front, it simply read, "If I don't return tomorrow." Officer Harris unfolded the letter with trembling hands. It said, "If you are reading this, then my journey has finally ended. People often thought I came here because I couldn't let go of the past. The truth is, I came here because the future kept arriving every morning. Every child who stepped onto those buses was someone's whole world. I couldn't save my own daughter, but perhaps by being here, by reminding every driver to slow down with a smile, by waving to frightened children, by thanking tired parents, I help protect someone else's. Grief never truly leaves us, but neither does love. If you remember me, don't remember the day I lost my daughter. Remember every morning I chose to love other people's children as if they were my own. That will be enough." Thomas Bennett. No one spoke. Outside, a Route 12 school bus pulled quietly to the curb. The driver stepped off, walked to the empty bench, removed his cap, and placed it gently beside Thomas's cane. The next morning, every Route 12 driver stopped for a few extra seconds. One by one, they placed flowers beside the bench. Children drew pictures. Parents left handwritten notes. The town voted unanimously to preserve the bus stop exactly as it was. A bronze plaque was placed on the bench. It read, "In memory of Thomas Bennett, a father, a bus driver, a guardian of children. For 15 years, he reminded an entire town that every child deserves to arrive home safely." If this story moved you, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. Drop a comment and tell me, what is the most selfless thing you have ever witnessed? I read every single one. Subscribe for more stories like this. Real, raw, and always worth your time. All animations, characters, and visuals in this video are original AI-generated content created exclusively for this channel. All stories are original fictional narratives written for entertainment and educational purposes.